Hello, sports fans. It's late Friday night. Semifinals are wrapped up, but figured we'd do a quick little preview of Saturday's state championship matchups. Obviously, I guess you can probably tell by my glasses and the messed up hair. I'm getting ready for bed, ready to shut things down. Another long day at state tournaments up here in Great Falls, where I am right now. We'll be heading to Bozeman tomorrow for the state C championship down there. Up here in Great Falls, first of all, though, the AA state championship pits Missoula Hellgate versus Helena Capital in all Western AA championship. Hellgate beat Kalispell Glacier in the semis. Capital beat Billings Skyview in the semis. Skyview jumped out to a big 21-6 first quarter lead. Helena Capital then came storming back. Really, I thought controlled the game through the final three quarters. Even though they weren't ahead on the scoreboard, they definitely played their type of game. Their guards really came up big there. Hunter Beto, I thought, really sparked it. And then David Lindgren in the second half, kind of the guy that capped it off there. So we've got Bruins, Missoula Hellgate in the championship there. Should be a good matchup. Trace Tinkle had another good game for Hellgate. I think he struggled a little bit more in the semis against Glacier than he did in that first round win over Billings West. But that should be a good matchup. I think Hellgate does have the size advantage. Helena Capital, though, with those guards, they can do a lot of different things there. So that should be a good game there. I think I could see that one going either way for sure. On the girls' side of things, another all-Western AA final there. We've got Missoula Sentinel versus Helena Capital. The Bruins coming back to beat Great Falls High in overtime 40-38. Missoula Sentinel beating Butte in the other semifinal. Those two teams familiar with each other. They've played each other a couple times this year. I believe Missoula Sentinel won both of those games, and I do expect Missoula Sentinel to repeat. They've been in the state championship 3 years in a row now, winning it last year, and that great game against Bozeman where DJ Reinhardt did her thing for the Spartans. So we've got Sentinel, Capital in there. Capital girls have never won a state championship, if my research is correct based on what I saw on the MHSA website. So, but I do expect Sentinel to win that one. But busy day for those Helena Capital fans. They get the boys and the girls in the championship. State A down in Billings. We have Billings Central versus Stevensville. Stevensville survived against Laurel. Sounded like Laurel had a three-point attempt at the end of the game to try to tie it. Came up short. So we got Stevensville in the championship. Stevensville, everybody I've talked to down there just loves this Jesse Sims kid from Stevensville. People throwing around the word beast a lot. So look for him tomorrow night in that game against Billings Central. The Rams beating Butte Central. Another strong defensive effort for the Rams. They shot the ball really well in this one. Not something we're used to seeing out of Central. We're not used to them being able to fill it up like that. So Billings Central obviously playing well. I think they've gotten better as the season progressed. So that's an interesting matchup down there. I don't know what to predict. I haven't seen Stevensville, but I do believe that Stevensville, from everything I've heard, is the most talented team in Class A. And a lot of times talent does win out in games like this. So I will probably, my pick there, we'll go with Stevensville. State B over in Butte, the championship. Don't sleep on the Northern B. Never, ever at the State B tournament. You've got to count on Northern B. We've got a Wolf Point Malta championship there after they beat the teams from the Western B. I thought this might be the year that the Western B gets back there. I thought Florence, Big Fork both had good teams. They both come up short in the semis, so we do get Wolf Point and Malta in the championship again there. They split in the regular season, I believe, this year. After seeing Malta when they played Rocky Boy, I thought the Mustangs were the best team in Class B. They've obviously had their ups and downs, but I do expect Malta to come out on top in that one. On the girls' side, exactly what we were all expecting. Townsend versus Fairfield, the two undefeated, number 1 versus number 2. The problem there now is that J.C. Thompson, the Townsend point guard, is reportedly out with a torn ACL. That comes from the Great Falls Tribune's Jesse Galenzi. That definitely impacts this game. Fairfield, they were my pick at the beginning of the year. I'm not changing it now. I know Jill Barta got a little banged up in their semifinal win there, but it sounded like she came back in the game too. Again, that comes from Jesse at the Tribune. That's a matchup everybody wanted, but I'm taking Fairfield in that one. And then lastly, we've got the State C boys. That's where I'm headed tomorrow in Bozeman. We've got Roy Winifred versus Westby Granora. Westby Granora, kind of a surprise in the championship. I don't think very many people expected that, but if you read my predictions back in December, I told you this was going to be the matchup. I've got to remind you guys when I'm right. I'm not right very often, so here's one. I picked Roy Winifred back on December 6th to beat Westby Granora in the championship. Both teams get there. Roy Winifred was in a battle with Ali most of the way, and then Chad Cannon then took over. By the sounds of things, Tucker Matovich had a good game. He had a double-double, I know, points and rebounds. So Roy Winifred more than just Cannon, but he scored 35 and 31 points in their 2 games so far. So Roy Winifred in the championship, undefeated, going against Westby Granora. Now, Westby Granora trailed against Big Sandy most of the game. They were down, I believe they got down by as many as 10 in the 4th quarter. Rallied all the way back to tie it. We're tied, 1.1 second left, I believe is what it was. Brady Olson inbounds, Thomas Field hits a fall away 3. Sounds like that was only his 2nd or 3rd three-pointer of the year. Gets it falling out of bounds to win the game 55-52 or 54-51, something like that. Sounds like a great game down there in Bozeman between those two. That's what got Westby Granora in the championship. I'm really excited, really looking forward to that game. Looking forward to that Chad Cannon versus Brady Olson from Westby Granora. Looking forward to that matchup, those two guys. Probably 2 of the top players in Class C, if not the top 2. Both can absolutely fill it up from the perimeter. Both are dangerous scorers. Cannon is a little taller, maybe a little better shooter. Brady Olson, I think he's a little bit stronger of a player. So really looking forward to see how that matchup shakes out. And Roy Winifred, Westby Granora again there in the state championship in Class C. So that's a rundown of the 6 state championship games tomorrow. It's hard to believe there's only 1 day left in this prep basketball season. 1 day, 6 championships. Should be a fun one.